And that's how much we did last year, or 2 years ago?
Yep.
Okay, we're probably about so.
All right, so I'm gonna call this meeting to order at 7:02. And we have a quorum, we have both, oh my goodness, Olivia and Matt here with me. Any public comment or questions? You guys have the memoranda from January. If you could review that, and then I'll entertain a motion to approve. While we review that, were you able to find the answer to my secretary question?
I don't think there's anything that prevents it.
Okay, perfect.
You're good to go.
I approve the meetings.
Make the motion.
Make the motion to approve the meetings.
Is there a second?
Yeah, second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye. Sorry.
Matt,
Aye.
okay.
Sorry, we're struggling down here.
No, you're fine. Okay, so last month we had temporarily appointed me as secretary till we got clarification. There is no issue with me also there's no issue with me being the president and the secretary at the same time. So if someone would make the motion to make that permanent.
Motion to approve it.
A second.
Yes, we're getting it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, budget review. I would like to apologize. So after the last town council meeting, so we still get the $60,000 this year. I was under the assumption that our base operating costs were roughly $40,000. It turns out that we actually had $11,000 left over at the end of last year. I didn't know that. So base operating costs, we're going to estimate 30,000. So, cause last year we had our base, but we don't have a park employee, but Mike with the utility department was going out and doing all the work we needed at Brookside. Not all the work we needed, but trying to keep up with dragging and all that. So like somehow our base operating costs came in even lower last year compared to previous years, which doesn't make any sense because we charged a lot more hours to the parks. Brandon even had his guys out there one week. All 4 guys were out there for multiple hours at the parks. So if we estimate this year for base operating costs around $30,000, that gives us roughly $30,000 for the year. However, the other thing we need to keep in mind is that I use the term savings account loosely. So Olivia has some knowledge. So like the $11,000 that's left at the end of the year goes into like a back account, which is what we call our savings account. It's not automatically put into our budget, but if we ever need to pull from that, we can ask for an appropriation from that piece of a cookie jar into the main. So with that being said, that account was emptied when they had to rectify the Bulldog Park account. So that account has been at zero until the end of 2025. So even if we estimate to save another 10,000, I'm very quickly losing my math here.
Yeah, you did.
30,000 base operating, $10,000 for savings. That gives us $20,000 still spendable. Later on the agenda, I do have mulch. We estimated that around $12,000 because I assumed pricing had gone up in the last 2 years, like everything else, but that's still roughly $10,000, which leaves us an estimate of $10,000 that we are able to spend this year while still saving that other $10,000.
Hey, Katie, didn't we gave you as the council, like riverboat money too?
That's included in the 60,000.
Oh, I didn't hear the 60 part, sorry.
Yes, yeah, so we received $40,000 from the Cascadon Fund, and then we received $20,000 from the Riverboat Fund. So that's where our 60,000 came from this year. So later on, when we get into the wish list portion of the agenda, just keep in mind, I would like to see us spend roughly $10,000 this year. Any questions regarding the budget? Okay, so I had security cameras on here. Brandon is working on security camera quotes. However, they're trying to lump the parks in with the utility department and with town hall. So we still don't have an update on that.
What we're trying to do is try to get one company. So it's all one, you know what I mean? Like it's all one system. Everybody's on
Instead
the
of
same
all of
system.
us piecing out to different.
Instead of, utilities being on this system and then we have to call this vendor for this problem. So, which is something that I know that other places are doing. Going to one system, it's easier.
So you wanna put security cameras in all the parks or just like the say at Brookside where there's a building?
Brookside is the main concern because that's the one where the vandalism is happening.
Oh, I didn't know.
Knock on wood, we haven't had anything at the other parks, but the concession stand was getting broken into at the end of last year. Luckily, there wasn't any damage, but hopefully having those cameras out there, along with, we're still having issues with semis pulling into the Brookside parking lot and tearing up the property. So we're hoping to have a camera out towards the parking lot so we can identify those drivers and try and get some of the issues resolved, or that's where the damage is happening, is out there. So at least having some of that damage covered. So we'll see what happens. Do we have an update on Frederick's Friends installation?
No, I've asked you for that name again and
You asked me for that name?
the company that makes the swing. So
Oh,
can get that right.
I thought you needed to contact
No,
her to
no,
get
no,
the
no,
information.
no. I
Okay.
just need who's the manufacturer
Perfect.
so I can get the rep.
Okay, I'll get that for you after the meeting. I'm so sorry. Miscommunication there.
I had it wrote down and I don't know what happened to my notes.
Yeah, I have it in here somewhere. I have the whole proposal.
Frederick's
Okay.
Friends, they donated a companion swing to the park.
Oh, okay.
It's
In memory
Danielle and
of,
Judge Kyle Noon, in memory of their son that they lost.
it's game time.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes, it's their game time.
Okay.
Yes. All right, drainage ditch at Brookside. So Madison County Drainage Board got back to me. The town is responsible for that drainage ditch. So I talked it over with Brandon. They have the new skid steer that has new attachments on it, whatever. He said, obviously right now it looks like something they could do, but everything's dead. So he's gonna wait till spring to see how stuff is actually growing. Hopefully they can get everything torn out, get it cleaned out so it drains properly. If not, then we'll have to reach out to a company so they can come in and clean that ditch out for us.
And which ditch is this?
So this is the drainage ditch between the Brookside Restoration Project and the homes on the west side of Erie. So it runs behind the homes.
Okay.
It's flooding and apparently causing a nuisance in the summertime with mosquitoes and standing water and everything else. So it was just brought to my attention at the end of last year. So hopefully we can get that taken care of and it doesn't do that this summer. Which then leads us into the Brookside Restoration Project. So to complete phase one, we are still needing to complete the trail at the park. We have reached out to companies before. I've only ever received one quote. So I would like to have, by the March meeting, I would like to have additional quotes to have the path installed. We still have money left in that account that the town had donated towards us for that project. It's the matching half of the grant that South Madison gave us. So if we can get quotes for that, I would love to try and get that done this summer. Jenny, the town manager, we've discussed it, and there's possible additional opportunities through South Madison for additional grants that might help cover that if we don't have the needed funds in our account to help get that taken care of. So if you guys have any contacts with different companies that do paths, walking trails, I can get you the specific information. It's roughly a half-mile trail. It doesn't need to be paved. It just needs to be ADA compliant. And then if you guys could bring those to the March meeting. Any questions over that project? All right. Okay, so last month we had talked about wish list items for spendable money this year. I know Roger and I have talked before, we have buildings out at Woodward, help me.
Shelters?
Shelters at Woodward, there's some that need repaired, and then the shelter that's in the middle over here in the park needs to be repaired.
I think it's got some
I'm
shingles.
slacking.
Yeah, I say
The
this
one
one,
really
like,
far out.
yeah, and there's like a piece of the framework. Roger's gonna work on getting a quote together for those. So same thing, if you guys know any companies that do that kind of work and wanna submit a quote. There's a structure out at Woodward or at Brookside, but it's new enough that I don't think it needs any work done. But if they wanna price out for the shelters at Woodward and then the shelter here at Memorial, so we can include all of that and try and get that. That's one of the things I wanted to look at for a wish list item. Did you guys have any?
Not only that, they probably need painted of some sort or stained
Okay,
to keep the bees out.
these are always an issue.
Yeah, we got them sprayed a while back.
Yeah.
For the wood bees.
Yeah.
So I think that the exterminator had said that they needed to be like treated
Okay,
to keep them from like coming back.
coming back?
Yeah, or something.
Okay.
I can ask what his recommendation was.
Please do. I say, if it's something as easy as painting, I know, Mike will reach out to me occasionally. They have people that will sometimes need volunteer hours, or like the middle school will be coming out in May and they'll be doing their big community day project. If that's something that they can tackle, we can always add it to their list. I know they always do the mulching. Sometimes Trace will have them paint things. We've had them paint the parking blocks down at Woodward before, but
They do a pretty decent job.
yeah, I've never had any complaints.
Who's that?
The middle school for their community day project.
Baseball team.
Middle school.
No, I was thinking youth baseball.
Oh, yeah, okay, perfect. I like that one.
That's like, yes, please.
It's over in that, I mean, they could do that park over there.
That'd be a good idea.
Are we throwing out ideas on the
Paint. Yeah, if you guys have anything else that we want to spend money on.
updated basketball goals?
The backboards and hoops, or the
Aren't the ones
entire
out
piece
at
together?
Woodward pretty bad?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you last time I was on the basketball court. I would assume so, though. They did get the volleyball court taken out. I guess update on that, random, sort of. They got the volleyball court taken out, and then they will be planting grass seed in the spring. So that project, that was the one where they had all spent hours that week putting work in. So that, the kitty litter box has officially been removed and will be planted in the spring. So yeah, basketball court, which I guess
We could
along,
probably just go out there and go see what's needed on it, on all, that one and this one.
is that, well, and I know they had talked about putting chain nets up, but I don't know whatever happened with
Don't
that.
be chain that.
Why?
Just because people try to jump up there and they rip their fingers and you get more complaints. and-
Good call. Okay, perfect. I didn't think about it with the basketball court. Brandon before had talked about pricing of getting it resurfaced along with the trail. Jenny had mentioned that with the Brookside project, I know all over the place right now. Because the project at Brookside is so small, I'm assuming that's why I haven't been able to get very many quotes.
Mhm.
So she had also mentioned if we want to partner it with the resealing the trail at Woodward with that trail. So we can always look at spending money that way as well, because it would be more work for them in town.
But they would have to be able to do asphalt.
Yes. Yeah, so two different types of projects
Yes.
there, but more work.
But if they do asphalt, they're probably gonna do seal coating, or they contract that with somebody as well, so.
Yeah, because I don't think any of it needs replaced. It just needs
Just
sealed and cracks filled and that sort of thing.
I've got a guy that's
Maintenance.
gonna be
Yeah.
he's not gonna be super cheap, but it'll last you for 4 or 5 years easy.
You say that about it?
I'm just, If you look at somebody who sprays it, though, it's gonna I'm saying you
Yeah,
paint
yeah.
because it's gonna last longer than.
Yeah,
I imagine
absolutely.
it's Katie with a Amazon sprayer.
Right?
Yeah.
No, when they
It won't
spray
be
it on,
me,
they
it'll be
have to put it
Brandon.
so thin for the sprayer to the pump to work.
I'm kidding.
No, this guy like lays it out there with a squeegee, so it's on,
So it's nice and thick.
yeah, it'll last. I think he did a job and it's been 6 years and it's still going good, so.
Any other wish list items? For now? Nothing? All right, so you also have a stapled packet of papers. These are quotes that I have obtained for the playground mulch. This is for all 3 parks, 8 inches deep. So the same amount that we did last time. The quote on top is for Superior ground cover. It's $10,220. This includes the material, the delivery, the installation, and the cleanup. So they come in, they spray the mulch on all the playgrounds and do everything for us. The next quote is Soft Step, playground mulch through Musselman's. That's $11,200. That is for the price of material only. Then you have McCarty, which is in Indianapolis, $10,080. Again, that is for the mulch only. And then the last quote you have is from Fisher's Mulch. For some reason, the company name didn't print on it. Their quote is $9,661. $281 of that is a payment fee, but again, that is mulch only.
Is the top company, I knew they installed it, but did they blow it in last time?
They do. Yeah, they blow it in and then level it all out. And
Doing mulch without a blower, that can be very time consuming and we don't have
the money to pay
manpower in
for.
town to do 2 weeks of spreading mulch.
Yes.
Uh-uh.
So
For what, $1,000?
Right.
Yeah.
No brainer.
I mean, it's gonna cost us more than $1,000 in labor for them to
Yeah.
do it.
exactly. So I will make the motion that we approve the quote from Superior ground cover in the amount of $10,220 for playground mulch.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any other questions on that? Okay, so member comments and concerns, I meant to touch on this at the beginning and I forgot. You'll notice at the bottom, Jake Hunsinger has, resigned from the Parks Department. His new job couldn't go with the schedule, so he has resigned. I do apologize, town council found out before you guys, but that's just because I wanted them to post something, that way we could start taking letters of interest. So if anyone is interested, please contact town hall. Along with that, Lee Murphy has not attended a meeting in over 2 months, so technically we can now vacate her seat. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up on that, and then I will let town council know at March's meeting that we have another seat available. So if you guys know anybody, I do believe with these 2 seats, there was I'll have to check political party, actually. There might be 2 Republican seats that are open. I'll have to double check. Again, I don't know why that part matters for Parks Department, but it is. So, and then the town council will appoint those members once we get letters of interest. So just a heads up, for the time being, it is the 3 of us and Roger.
Who should they send the letters?
Letter should be sent to town hall, but I don't remember the email address. Is it
info@townoflapel.org, I think still, the one Chad did.
Is it .org? Okay.
Or one of the other boards.
The old email, it's still .org.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah, because
They're using that a lot still for,
that's why I wasn't sure what all had been converted over
I
yet.
don't know either, because
Okay,
it's a handful of people using the new one and have water by still using the old one.
I'm still the old one, so. All right, any other member comments or concerns? All right.
No, except we found out that RDC confirmed it.
Oh, yes, so we did find out RDC, are we still waiting for clarification on whether it's half of a project or full project?
They could do,
Whole project, yeah.
Okay, so RDC used to only be able to help fund a project for up to half of the total cost. the state has changed those rules and regulations and they can now fund 100% of a project. So we're hoping to pair with the RDC. They have roughly $400,000 in their account,
Yeah.
give or take. So we're hoping to pair with them with grants to work on the playground project at Woodward. So hopefully that'll be a reality sooner than later.
Can I ask a question? If I could-
Yeah, no, I don't mind.
Is that something, because I know that was over $1 million, right? Initially.
750,000.
Is that
roughly.
something you can break into phases where, you're doing like just the playground and then?
That is just the playground.
Oh, God.
$750,000 is just the playground.
But that is turnkey, so that's the labor for them to have the contractors coming in. They're moving the playground. It's gonna be a little bit bigger than the one now at Woodward. But like I said, it's, when we get it, we don't have anything to do with, like, we don't have to do any work to get it to open. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
when they say, here it is, it's ours. So it's ready to be played on as soon as they're done. Contractors installing it, they're doing all the groundwork, they're doing the concrete, all that's gonna be done. Installing all the equipment. There's like
5-year
around
maintenance plan.
750,000. Yeah, 5-year maintenance plan on the turf, which is what they're looking at.
Oh, so they would do like actual,
Yes,
It's
like,
it's a playground
it
turf like
is-
we have at Finch.
is it like the rubber
No,
slabs?
it's like grass.
Oh, okay.
yeah, it is
um,
actual turf.
And it's got a 10-year lifespan for the micro band. They said about a 15-year total lifespan, and the first 5 years, the company comes in and brushes it in the spring and fall to bring the bristles up, or the turf up.
But even like the drainage that has to be ran,
Yeah.
all of that is included in the
Because
750,000.
it's got a 5-year warranty on it, so if
Yeah.
it pulls apart from the anchoring,
No,
then
no,
they
no.
come out and fix it.
No,
Where would they move that to?
Just more centered towards the splash pad.
the goal is to make, because there's a path that goes to the splash pad, and they want to connect it to the splash pad so the whole thing is ADA compliant. Closer to that parking lot, more centralized.
It's all kind of integrated that way, not going all the way to the other side of the park to go to the playground.
Because we want to be able to have families play at the splash pad or play at the park. Right now, it's just too far away.
And they
For
can still
parents
keep
to
an
feel
eye on them better
comfortable.
that
Oh,
way.
I absolutely get that.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, wow.
So
That's
Big
nice.
project.
I wonder if that's something like, what's your timeline for one?
we were hoping in the next 5 years. We were hoping a lot sooner, but 5-year would be a realistic, probably more realistic timeline than what we want it to be.
You guys desperately need a Friends of Parks,
Yes.
somebody to do some fundraising and cheerleading.
Yes.
First, you need to fill your board, but then you.
Yes. All right, any other comments, questions?
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna adjourn this meeting, 7:24.
Efficient. All right.
No.